my name is Ali Saak and welcome to my tutorial on water droplet photography. This setup is slightly complicated to set it up, but it's very easy once you have it all done. First of all, let me just tell you the apparatus you will need. To create the water drops, I'm using an IV. I found it at a local pharmacy by the name of a drip kit. I'm not exactly sure what it's called, but I'm sure you'll be able to find it. It's just an IV, and this is saline water, and there's a needle here. It's pointy, so be careful and make sure there are no kids around. So this is what I'm going to be using to create the actual drop. For my gear, I'm using a Canon 600D with the 50mm 1.4 lens, and I'm using a set of extension tubes that's giving me a 14mm extension. Now there are many ways to do this. You can use long focal lengths, you can use short, you can go macro. Macro is what I'm doing. You can use thick water drops, you can use thin ones, you can, small, large. You can mix glycerin in the water to make it thicker. Where do you place your lights? What colored lights do you use? What colored backgrounds do you use? That all will define what kind of a photograph you can get. I've kept it very simple. I have two flashes set over there at the back. I'm not sure if you can see them, but there are two flashes there. I'm using a white background. I have a bowl here that's full of water, and this is where the drops are going to be falling. Now I took my IV, and what I did is I stuck it onto, I taped it to a ruler which is placed over here. I taped it so it does not move, because these things, where'd it go? Yeah, this thing is gonna keep shaking, so it's good to fasten it in place with something. I use tape. You can use any kind of tape. I have a table here where I've extended the ruler and making sure that it's dropping there. Now I'm just gonna place this into my tripod now, and you want to be careful with this because this is an expensive camera and that is a ball of water. If it collides, that's not healthy for your camera. So if you do not have a tripod that you trust, or you don't have a reliable tripod, I'd suggest you get one. So first thing I want to make sure is that the ambient light is not affecting my shot. So I have my settings at 1/60th of a second, aperture of f16, ISO 200, and white balance set to daylight. And I'm going to take a shot without any flashes. There we go, completely dark. Now I'm going to turn on my flashes. I'm using the Yongnuo RF603 remote triggers to fire my flashes. I have two flashes set behind that. They're both set to 1/4 power. I can use a single flash with 1/2 power, but that's extending the duration of the flash, so your scene is going to be lit for a longer time. That might not give you as much sharpness in the water drop, because water drops are very quick and it's easy to get motion blur even using flashes. How do you soften the light? What kind of diffuser you use is up to you. Like I said, you can experiment. There are many ways. You can use an umbrella, you can use a softbox. What I'm using the diffuser that's inside a reflector. If you have a reflector, just open it up and out comes that. I have two flashes placed behind that, and I'm just gonna turn on my flash and try a shot. So that's the kind of look we are getting. So now I'm just gonna turn on my IV to enough pace that there's a steady stream of drops. Once I have that, the rest is all dependent on you. You just have to get the focus right, and you just have to time it well. So if your focus is off, or your frame is off, you're not gonna get the right shot. So just if you time it well, you can get a shot. Yeah, it's not right. So I just have to move it a little to the left. We're getting the focus is still a little off, so I'm just gonna move my camera around a little. That looks like good focus. There we go, we're already getting nice shots. So it's all dependent on just the timing. See? That's a nice shot. So it's all just upon the timing. Now there are a few things you're gonna have to you just have to stay safe of. You gotta make sure there are no sources of wind. You do not have windows open. I do right now because I need some light for the video. But if you have wind, that's gonna create variation in where your droplet drops. Because of the wind, it might fall backwards, upwards, frontwards. I don't know. That might affect your focus and your frame. You cannot keep adjusting your camera, so it's good to have no sources of wind so that drop is falling every time at the same place. That's it. This is if you're using this syringe, it's pointy, it's sharp. Just be careful of that. Safety first. Make sure there are no kids around. They can hurt themselves with pretty much anything. And just keep experimenting. You can try different backgrounds. You can try different gels on your flash, give it different colored lights. You can experiment with your focal length. If you have a longer range lens, like even the kit lens 18 to 135, or let's say 70 to 200, if you have that, you can try with that. I'm using macro. You don't need to use macro. You can try something else. The bigger bowl you have, it's better because then you have more flexibility in the angle you can choose. Right now, if I take my angle downward, what happens is I'm going to be able to get this side in the frame, so that's not going to look attractive. Another thing you want to make sure is if you're doing it macro like I am, make sure you have a UV filter or something on the lens, because you don't want any water splashes getting on your lens. That's unhealthy for the lens when you're gonna wipe it clean. Cheap UV filter, doesn't matter, you can get tens of those. So that's it. Water droplet photography, not that hard. Another thing, once you have any shot, let's say, let me take one now. Yeah, so once you have any shot, you can take it into Photoshop or any image processor, Lightroom, Corel has some, any image processor, you can process it, get rid of any unrequired splashes, clean the image, give it color, play around, create it more interesting, create it pretty, make an attractive image. So I guess that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and show your shots. Thank you very much.